If you've ever believed that good deeds always bring good fortune, this story will make you question everything. Because on that cold night, when actor Yu Menglong tried to save the very people he trusted most, he never imagined they'd be the ones who'd push him literally out the window. In this video, you're going to uncover the shocking truth behind what really happened that night, the betrayal no one saw coming, and the secrets that were meant to be buried forever. Stay till the end, because the twist will leave you speechless. It started as an ordinary evening at an exclusive penthouse in Shanghai's financial district, a private gathering meant to celebrate the wrap-up of a secret film project Yu Menglong had been quietly working on. The project wasn't public yet, but insiders whispered that it would redefine his career. He looked happy that night. He'd been seen laughing, taking photos, even sharing toasts with 3 people who, hours later, would be tied to his most terrifying moments. The penthouse was sleek glass walls reflecting the city's lights, music humming in the background, and a gentle breeze coming from the open balcony doors. Only a handful of people were invited: his co-star, a rising actress known for her mysterious charm, a producer whose connections ran deep into the entertainment elite, and a man from his management team whom you had trusted for years. Everything seemed perfect until it wasn't. Around 11:40 p.m., the building's security footage caught Yu Menglong stepping onto the balcony with the 3 others. No one could hear what was said, but the argument was visible in their body language. Voices were raised, hands gestured wildly, and Yu, at one point, backed away. Witnesses later said they heard a glass shatter, a sharp sound that broke through the music, and then, silence. Minutes later, a horrifying crash echoed from the side of the building. By the time security rushed outside, Yu Menglong's body was lying on the pavement below, motionless. The world froze. At first, it was called a tragic accident. The official story said he was drunk while trying to retrieve something near the balcony's edge. But that version quickly began to unravel when investigators noticed inconsistencies. The railing height made an accidental fall almost impossible. And then came the whispers, rumors from insiders who couldn't stay silent anymore. They said Yu wasn't alone when he fell. He'd been betrayed. In the days that followed, the internet exploded with theories. Fans were devastated, colleagues were silent, and the 3 people who'd been with him that night disappeared from public view. But fragments of what really happened started to leak, from voice notes, private messages, and a mysterious call placed minutes before the incident. One voice note, allegedly from Yu himself, surfaced in an anonymous forum. In it, his tone was tense, almost desperate. "I'm going to confront them tonight," he said. "They've been hiding things, and I can't keep pretending I don't know. I'm tired of the lies." That was the last time anyone heard from him. Investigators dug deeper and discovered that the people he was confronting were involved in an illegal financial network disguised as part of the film's funding. Yu had unknowingly signed documents linking his name to the scheme. When he discovered the truth, he wanted out and he wanted to expose them. But that decision made him a threat. He'd gone to that penthouse that night not to party, but to save them, to beg them to come clean before the story exploded. He wanted to protect their careers, their families, their futures. He still believed they could make things right. But instead of gratitude, they gave him death. A neighbor from a nearby building reported seeing shadows moving violently on the balcony just before Yu fell. "It wasn't a fall," the witness said. "It looked like someone pushed him." Still, no arrests were made. The story was buried under layers of PR statements, deleted footage, and sealed reports. But fans weren't ready to let it go. Then, weeks later, a new piece of footage surfaced, one that changed everything. It came from a maintenance camera 2 floors below the penthouse. The angle was shaky, but you could see Yu Menglong standing by the balcony door, hands raised as if trying to calm someone down. Suddenly, one figure lunged toward him. Another grabbed his arm. The struggle lasted less than 5 seconds before his body tilted backward over the railing. The sound of the impact wasn't caught, but the silence afterward was haunting. The other 3 people stepped back inside and closed the door. They didn't call for help. By the time paramedics arrived, Yu was gone. But something about that night refused to fade. Journalists began to receive anonymous packages, photos, fragments of chat logs, even snippets of conversation recorded from a hidden device. In one of those recordings, a male voice said, "He shouldn't have come here tonight. We told him to keep quiet." A female voice responded, "Now it's too late. Just clean this up." Those 6 words, "just clean this up," sent chills through everyone who heard them. Because that's exactly what happened. Evidence vanished. Witnesses recanted. And the people who were last seen with you reappeared weeks later, posting cheerful vacation photos as if nothing had happened. But fans never forgot. Weeks after the tragedy, a journalist tracked down a security guard who had been on duty that night. The man claimed that someone had ordered the building's security cameras turned off at 11:30 p.m., just 10 minutes before you fell. "They said it was a technical glitch," he recalled. "But I've been here 10 years. That's no glitch." When asked who gave the order, the guard hesitated. "Someone from upstairs. Someone powerful." And then came another twist. Yu's last text message, recovered from a cloud backup. It read, "If anything happens to me tonight, please tell them I tried to help." Those 10 words became the spark for one of the most emotional campaigns in entertainment history. Fans flooded social media with the hashtag #JusticeForYuMenglong, demanding answers, demanding truth. In the months that followed, everything started to unravel for the people involved. The producer quietly stepped down from multiple projects. The actress vanished from the spotlight, reportedly leaving the country. The manager. He was arrested in connection with an unrelated fraud case, but during questioning, investigators found documents linking him to the financial network Yu had uncovered. It was then the shocking truth finally became clear: Yu Menglong's death wasn't random. He was silenced. He had become too dangerous to their secret empire. Yet the greatest tragedy of all was this: he wasn't even trying to destroy them. He was trying to save them. He believed there was still good left in them. That if he confronted them privately, they could fix things together. That they would understand. But he underestimated how far greed and fear can drive people. And so, the man who spent his life giving kindness, met his end at the hands of those he loved most. But the story didn't end there. Late one night, months after the official investigation had been closed, a mysterious package arrived at a Shanghai newsroom. Inside were fragments of video files, encrypted messages, and a chilling note that read, "For the truth he died for." When decrypted, the footage revealed something that had been hidden from the public all along: a 4th person in the penthouse that night. Someone never mentioned in the reports. Someone powerful enough to make evidence disappear. That person's identity remains classified, but insiders claim they were the one funding the entire operation, the mastermind behind the network Yu was about to expose. Suddenly, everything made sense. The silence. The cover-up. The fear. The people Yu Menglong tried to save weren't just his friends, they were pawns. And when they realized their own lives were at risk, they made a horrific choice: sacrifice him to save themselves. Today, years later, fans still leave flowers beneath that building. Some claim that at midnight, you can still hear the faint echo of footsteps on the balcony above. Others say they've seen lights flicker in the penthouse, even though it's been vacant ever since. But the truth doesn't die easily. Every year, new evidence surfaces. Every year, someone speaks out. And every year, more people learn the real story: that Yu Menglong's death wasn't an accident, but a message. A message about how betrayal hides behind smiles. How truth can be silenced, but not forever. And how even in his final moments, Yu remained what he always was: a man who believed in doing what's right, no matter the cost. If you watched till this point, you now know the chilling truth behind that night. The people Yu Menglong tried to protect were the ones who ended him. But what they didn't realize was that their betrayal created something unstoppable: a legacy of truth that refuses to stay buried. So now I want to hear from you. Do you believe justice will ever be served for Yu Menglong? Why do you think the truth was covered up for so long? And if you were in his place that night, would you still have tried to save them? What if I told you the story didn't end when Yu Menglong fell from that window? What if the truth only began to unfold after the lights went out that night? This continuation will take you deeper into the whispers, the hidden cameras, the late-night confessions that could finally reveal what really happened. Stay tuned, because the details I'm about to share have never been heard before, and once you hear them, you won't forget them. The penthouse where it all happened was sealed off immediately after the incident. 4 days, police tape fluttered under the cold Shanghai wind, but inside, something sinister lingered. Security guards who later entered the apartment said the air felt heavy, like the energy of what happened hadn't left. The glass balcony door was shattered, the couch overturned, and faint streaks, possibly fingerprints, lined the marble railing where you had last stood. But the strangest part? A faint message written in fog on the inside of the glass, so faint that it only appeared when light hit it at the right angle. It read, "They pushed me." No one knew how it got there. One investigator claimed it could have been a smear from a hand or a heat pattern, but others weren't so sure. That single phrase reignited public outrage, making fans demand the case be reopened. Meanwhile, behind closed doors, one of the 3 people who were there that night began to crack. The producer, known for his calm, diplomatic tone, started avoiding calls. He cancelled public appearances and reportedly left his home in the middle of the night several times, as if he was running from something or someone. Then came the voice message leak. An anonymous account posted a recording titled "Listen to What He Said." The message was short but powerful. It was Yu Menglong's voice again, shaking but resolute. "They think I don't know, but I do. I'm still trying to save them. They just don't see it yet." The timestamp. Just 3 hours before he died. It sent chills across the internet. Millions reposted it, demanding justice. But what followed next was even darker. A journalist named Lin Fei, one of the first reporters on the scene that night, was fired unexpectedly 2 days after she published an article questioning the official story. Her article claimed the fall was not an accident but a struggle. She cited unnamed witnesses who said they saw someone inside the penthouse pulling the curtain closed right after you fell. When Lin tried to appeal her dismissal, she received a threatening text from an unknown number. "Stop asking questions. He fell. You could too." Terrified, she left Shanghai. But before she did, she handed a flash drive to a close friend, instructing them to release it if anything ever happened to her. Months later, that drive surfaced, and what it contained turned the whole story upside down. Inside were backup copies of deleted surveillance clips from the building's elevator and hallway. In one of them, just minutes before you went up to the penthouse, you can clearly see him handing his phone to someone, a tall figure in a cap and hoodie. That person was never identified. But after Yu's death, his phone was missing. Coincidence? Or did that person hold the final key to what you discovered that night? As more details emerged, fans became digital detectives. They noticed something in the leaked balcony footage that most missed. The moment after you fell, the actress turned her back, covering her face, and mouthed something toward the others. Lip readers analyzed it and concluded she said, "It's done." That tiny phrase broke the internet. But what truly shattered hearts came from a security technician who worked in the building. He revealed that the balcony door sensor had been manually disabled hours before the incident. That meant someone inside didn't want the system to detect movement or a forced opening. When questioned, the management team said it was likely a maintenance error. But no paperwork for maintenance was ever filed. The more the truth tried to hide, the louder it screamed. Months later, a late-night host revealed something shocking during a live stream. He claimed to have received an anonymous package containing a small USB drive labeled only, "Use Promise." Inside was a video clip that appeared to have been recorded on Yu Menglong's own phone. He was sitting in a dimly lit car, face tense but calm, and he said, "If you're seeing this, something went wrong tonight. I only wanted to help them. I wanted to make it right before it destroyed us all." Fans were heartbroken. He didn't sound scared, he sounded determined. It was the voice of a man who still believed there was hope, even when surrounded by betrayal. After that video went viral, something strange happened. The actress who had vanished abroad suddenly deleted all her social media. The producer released a vague apology about past mistakes. And the manager, the same one connected to the financial scandal, was found to have left Shanghai under a fake name. But here's the most chilling discovery of all. Yu Menglong's apartment was searched weeks later, and inside, investigators found a second phone hidden beneath a floor panel. On it were hundreds of messages between Yu and a contact saved only as L. The last message he sent before his death said, "L, if I don't come back tonight, it means they made their choice. Don't let them bury me twice." That line, "Don't let them bury me twice," has become the heartbeat of his fan movement. They believe L was someone helping you uncover the corruption from the inside, someone still out there trying to finish what he started. And perhaps the biggest mystery now is this: what exactly did you discover that made him such a threat? Some insiders claim the financial scandal wasn't just about money, it involved powerful names across film and politics. Yu's decision to confront them that night wasn't only about protecting his friends, it was about preventing a massive public fallout. He thought by facing them privately, he could reason with them. But they were desperate. They knew exposure meant ruin, and that desperation turned deadly. One of the rescuers who carried Yu's body that night reportedly said he was still holding something in his hand when they found him, a small piece of torn paper. It was later confirmed to be a part of a signed agreement with the producer's company. On the back, faintly written, were the words, "Forgive them." Even in his final seconds, he tried to forgive them. And that's the part that makes this story unforgettable, not just the betrayal, not just the lies, but Yu Menglong's heart. He didn't go there to fight. He went there to protect. He went there to save people who would later push him to his death. But what they didn't realize was this: his fall didn't end his story. It began a movement. Now, fans around the world light candles every year on the anniversary of that night. They call it the Night of Truth. And somewhere, maybe in the digital shadows, L is still out there holding the final piece that will make the world see what really happened. If you're still watching, ask yourself this: what kind of courage does it take to forgive the people who betrayed you? Do you think L will ever come forward? And what would you do if you were in Yu Menglong's place that night? Would you still try to save them? Drop your thoughts below in the comments. I'll be reading every single one. And if this story gripped you the way it did for millions across the world, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. It helps us uncover more untold truths like this, truths the world tried to hide. Because Yu Menglong's voice may have been silenced that night. But together, we can make sure his story never dies.